Hello and welcome to Altia Suite. Today I'm going to show you how we can load our truck and then complete our trips. To get started, we're going to go into our deliveries module. From here, we're going to go into trips. The trip we're going to be looking at is going to be this June 15th trip. To get started loading the truck, we'll go to the context menu of this trip right here. And then we'll see the option to either load the truck or sometimes it'll just say accept and load the truck. From here, we'll just click this button. Once we get into the little truck screen, you'll notice we'll have two different lines here. Each of these lines are going to be items that we need to load. In this case, they're going to be for two different customers for two different orders. Depending on the order size and the different customers you have, this list might be bigger or smaller than you see. To get started loading, we can either scan our QLN number here. It could be in the form of a barcode sticker on the item itself. If your system is not using QLNs, then you will use the serial number right here to scan. I have already committed these QLNs and serial numbers to each of these items, so the system knows exactly what is supposed to be going to these orders. To simulate this scanning process, I'm going to highlight this QLN. To be able to scan into this field, you just need to make sure the cursor is blinking up there. Then if you have a barcode scanner, you go ahead and scan the QLN of the first item. As the user, you will hear an audible ding. As a user, you will hear an audible sound as you successfully load the QLN into the truck. Now I'm going to go ahead and scan my other item. Once all of the items have been loaded, we'll go over into the other section called Loaded Items. In this screen, you'll see not only the items that you loaded in there, but also any service items that are involved in the trip, such as these delivery charges. If you made any mistake loading these trucks, we can just go to the context menu of the line, and there's a Unload Package button. Once you click that, you'll be asked, are you sure you want to do this? We'll hit the yes button. This will take it out of the loaded items and put it back into the items to load, and put it back into the items to load. We can then swap this item out for another item, or maybe this item was damaged and we need to exchange it for a different serial number and QLN combination. Once all the items have been loaded, we'll go ahead and hit that complete loaded button. Once we return back to the trip screen, you'll see your trip over here has been complete on the loading status. Now from this point on, the person in charge of doing this trip can go ahead and start the trip. At this point, they'll just go ahead and follow the steps of starting the trip and delivering these items to each of these customers. Once your delivery driver has completed all of his routes, then he'll hit the end trip button. This will give us a summary of what happened. And at this point, you'll just end the trip. Once you get done with the trip, you'll be brought back to this screen. You'll notice that your trip is no longer visible right here. To bring the trip back, we can hit this checkbox right here to show the completed trips. And then from here, we go ahead and search for the scheduled date, and then we can look for the same date that we've finished the trip. From here, we can go to the context menu of the trip. Now from this point, we can go into our delivery history. Once we get here in our delivery history, you'll see the record of each of our orders that we dropped off on that trip. We have the column for the trip name there. If you want to see the details of the trip, we can go to the context menu. And then if we hit the option to view delivery, we'll see any pictures that we've taken, as well as any signatures that we also take. So that is how to load the truck and how to complete your trips in Altia Suite. Thank you.